The French police are on the trail of an international gang of Lego looters, and a college in Australia has banned the mullet haircut. And finally, women's underwear will be provided for Swiss Army female recruits. These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News. Weird AF News is the only daily weird news podcast recorded by a comedian inside a sweaty closet. Believe it. The police in France are on the hot trail of an international gang of Lego looters. That's right, Lego thieves. Do you guys remember Legos? Those little colorful toy blocks that snap into place. I played with Legos as a child. I noticed that Legos these days are getting very sophisticated. I love to see them, though. I'm glad that children are playing with toys that I played with as a child. Especially toys that aren't like video games. When I see kids doing, simpler things, I'm like, oh, this is great. It reminds me of my childhood. Let's get into the story. The French police say they're building a case against an international gang of toy thieves. These aren't your ordinary toy thieves. They're very specific, specializing in stealing only Legos. They have warned specialty shops and even parents to be aware of a global underground trade in Legos. I had no idea Legos were worth so much money. I'm going to call my mother, make her go in the attic. Mom, go up in the attic and find my Legos, okay? What do you want me to do now? What do you get your Legos for? What are you going to do, huh? No one wants Legos. No one plays with Legos anymore. What are you friggin'... That was an impression of my mother, but it wasn't that accurate. Now, this alert comes after officers arrested 3 people, a woman and 2 men. You call this your international gang of Lego thieves? 2 men and a woman. They arrested them in the process of stealing boxes of Legos from a toy store outside of Paris. Under questioning, the suspects, all from Poland, reportedly admitted that they were part of a bigger team specializing in stealing Legos sought by collectors. I mean, can't you just buy Legos on Amazon? I didn't realize that Legos were so rare. Here's a quote from an investigator in France. The Lego community isn't just made up of children. There are numerous adults who play with the Legos. There are Lego swaps, Lego sales on the internet. We've also had people complaining their homes have been broken into and Legos have been stolen right from their homes. Can you believe it in France? This gang were first reported in November 2019 and again in February 2020. The same gang? They come to France. They set up in the hotels in the Paris region. Then they set about raiding toy stores before returning to Poland to sell off their Lego haul. That was one of the French officers. I'm supposed to believe that people from Poland are going to France, staying in a hotel, spending days stealing Legos in the city and then returning to Poland to sell them? This seems very strange. It's a strange way to make a buck. It's just, are Legos that rare in Poland? I mean, are no toys allowed in Poland? I don't understand. Okay, so they interviewed somebody who's a Lego specialist. That seems like a dream job. Gerben van Ilken, a Lego specialist who advises the online auction platform for buying and selling collectibles, says sales on the French site for Legos doubled last year. On an auction site, people are auctioning off Legos? This is all news to me. I thought Legos were just cheap pieces of toys. Here's a quote from this Lego specialist. Investing in these pieces isn't new, but this niche market has reached new heights with the pandemic. People have more time at home because of the health restrictions, and the game market has, frankly, exploded. We often have more than 1,000 Lego sales each week. There's always been dealing in Legos because it's a premium toy range and attracts many adults, but also because the company withdraws its collections around 2 years after they come out, so a secondhand market is inevitable. The phenomenon has exploded over the last 8 years because people have realized they can make money reselling Legos on the internet. So it sounds to me like Lego makes these toys, but then after 2 years stops making them and then comes out with a new collection so you can sell that old collection As a collector's item, I assume? I see. I'm pretty sure I got some old-ass Legos somewhere. Back in Massachusetts. It says here that Lego looting appears to be a global business, according to reports in the United States, Canada, and Australia, where numerous thefts have been reported over the last 5 years. In 2005, in fact, San Diego police arrested a group of women found to have over $300,000 worth of Lego. My goodness. Yeah, it seems like big business. I had no idea that Lego was worth so much money. Guys, go digging through your attic and your basement. Look for them old Lego toys that your kids don't play with. These bad boys are worth money on eBay. Go do it. A college in Australia bans the mullet haircut. Says that mullets are unacceptable. Trinity College in Perth outlined their ban on the retro haircut known as the mullet in its recent newsletter. You guys are aware of the mullet, are you? Business in front, party in the back, guys. You know what I'm talking about? Some of you don't know about the mullet. Just watch any hockey game from the 90s. Well, okay, so you got the short hair on top and then it's long in the back. Does this make sense? Have you seen this before? Big time 80s style. Def Leppard. Just watch a Def Leppard video. And I want. And I need. You know the one. Def Leppard, shout out to Australia. Okay, so there's a quote in here. I'm going to do it in an Australian accent. Let's see what we got here. It is without reservation that the college sets clear requirements that ensure health and safety, as well as setting a high standard for personal representation. I mean, presentation. This is no good, this accent. Let me get back into my normal accent. This is the quote in the newsletter, by the way. The current trend of growing your hair at the back of the head and or closely cropping the sides of the head to accentuate the mullet style are untidy, non-conventional, and not acceptable at Trinity College, as is the trend of long hair and fringes as well. Ooh, they don't even want long hair. Sounds like they're trying to crack down on hippies. What is this Trinity College? Some kind of bougie place? I've never heard of it. Is it a religious school? Sounds like it. The college expectations on hairstyles can be found on page 18 of the student diary. Oh my goodness, who would want to go to this school? College expectations on hairstyles? Look, last I checked, we're paying you thousands of dollars to go to your institution. You're not going to tell me how I can wear my hair. I mean, unless this college gives out free admission. Hey, if it's free, then, I'll listen to your mullet ban. But I don't know, colleges in the U.S. are very expensive. And they'd be damned if they would even attempt to tell the student body to do anything of the sort when it comes to their hair. It just wouldn't happen. I guess when you're handing over $40,000 a year, I guess no one can tell you how to wear your hair. Maybe this college isn't like that. It says students who don't meet the school's grooming standards will be picked up by their parents in order to get a haircut. What, picked up by their parents? What are these, 13-year-olds? Is this college really a high school? This is what it sounds like. Is Trinity College a university, or are we talking about a high school here? This sounds more like high school behavior, to be honest with you. Your parents are going to come pick you up if you got a mullet haircut? The school stated that that hairstyles should be of a conservative nature, cut above the collar, and were not allowed to fall below a student's eyes. Here's more. Students are not permitted to have mullets, rat tails. Oh, remember the rat tail? I mean, I don't really remember it, but I've heard about it. You see him in, I don't know, if you watch Michael J. Fox movies. They also are not permitting mohawks, which is so fun. Top knots, I don't know what those are. Extra long fringes or any other non-conventional style cuts. Trinity College is not the first school to ban the business at the front party at the back hairstyle in February. Waverley College in Sydney, Australia also canceled the mullet, labeling the haircut as not acceptable for students. You know what? Everybody in Australia should just wear mullets right now, just as an FU to these organizations. How dare they tell people they can't wear a mullet? How dare they tell you that you can or cannot do anything with your own damn body? The school's deputy principal, Patrick Brennan, told the media at the time that The mullet haircut trending at present is not acceptable, and students will be directed to the local barber or their preferred hairstylist to rectify any issues. And we're also going to ban dancing. Dummies. They got a quote from someone in here. Ooh, it's the Australian Premier, Mark McGowan. He weighed in on the mullet debate, claiming that while he was personally fond of mullets, rat tails were a step too far. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Premier Mark McGowan. Here's a quote from him. I'm very pro-mullet. It's a unique Australian invention, one which we've been selling to the world, but I'll let the school make their own decisions. Was the mullet really invented in Australia? That's fascinating to know. Well, then in that case, rock that mullet, Australia. You Aussies, go with your mullets. Don't listen to these schools. And if the students can hear me, you guys rock mullets. If all of you have a mullet, they can't send all of you home. Right? But this might be a bad idea. I'm going to get people expelled. Have any of you lived in the 80s and had a mullet haircut? Please send me a photo. funnyjones@gmail.com. I just opened a can of worms, I think. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. Yay! Women's underwear is going to be provided to the female recruits in the Swiss Army. Switzerland is going to allow female members of their military to wear women's underwear for the first time in an effort to boost recruitment. Under the current system, the standard uniform issued to military recruits includes only men's underwear. Oh my goodness, they're making them wear men's underwear? These poor ladies. Is that how it works in the United States Army? I'm not familiar enough. There are women in our military as well. I'm wondering if they're forced to wear men's underwear. No, I assume it's women's underwear, right? Can anyone give me the answer to this? I'm sure I could Google this. The trial, beginning next month, will provide 2 different sets of female underwear for warmer and colder months. Okay, they're going to give out 2 sets of female underwear in the Swiss Army, which, by the way, women make up about 1% of the Swiss Armed Forces. The country wants to increase that figure to at least 10% by 2030. They're hoping that by making moves like this, they'll attract female recruits. I don't think that's going to work, but okay. No one's joining the army because of the underwear. Oh, you guys have free underwear? Yeah, let me sign up my life. What is it, 10 years of my life? 4 years? What is it? Yeah, I mean, whatever. Hey, it's the underwear I heard is amazing. Let me sign up right now. It's ridiculous. Marianne Binder, a member of the Swiss National Council, said that offering women more suitable underwear would encourage more to apply to join the military. I don't think so, Marianne, but you go, girl. You try your best. People aren't joining your military for the clothing. She says here, the clothing is designed for men, but if the army is really to become more feminine, appropriate measures are needed. This is why we're doing the underwear thing. Women have until now reportedly been issued loose-fitting men's underwear, often in large sizes, which can be uncomfortable. Well, that's just terrible that they were doing this. For how many years were they giving men's underwear out to the female recruits? That just seems silly. Who put up with this for so long? Can the ladies just go get their own underwear and wear their own whatever they wanted? Were they forced to wear this loose-fitting men's, what are they, boxers? It just seems very strange. A spokesperson for the Swiss Army said that the clothing and other items issued by their military have become outdated and that the new functional underwear for female recruits would consist of short underwear for the summer and long underwear for the winter. They said earlier this week that changes were being considered in relation to other supplies, such as combat clothing, protective vests, and even backpacks. Oh, they are going to be addressing things such as sizes. Yeah, I mean, I assume they're just handing them stuff that's meant for the male recruits, and so everything's going to be huge. I mean, I don't know why you didn't tackle this years ago. The current Swiss Army uniforms will be updated. They were first introduced in the mid-'80s. Wow, they're just behind the times in all their gear. Sounds like they need to get it together in the gear department in the Swiss Army. Hook your ladies up with some modern clothing. Give them some underwear. some, form-fitting military attire. Oh, can you imagine how beautiful Swiss Army women must be? How do you even fight them? You're just like, wow, you're stunning. Just kill me. Just kill me. Photograph, I don't want you. So you guys know that the song Photograph by Def Leppard was inspired by a picture that Joe Elliott saw of Marilyn Monroe. Just thought I'd share that little tidbit with you. Shout out to Def Leppard. Oh, man. I want to go to a Def Leppard concert. Would you guys take me? Anyone take me? I don't think are they even alive anymore? I don't even know. Just want to rock out to Armageddon. What else? Ooh, Hysteria When You're Near. Oh, so good. So good. You guys have a favorite Def Leppard song? Please leave me a voicemail singing it, please. The number is 646-450-2012. Please be Australian. Can I even get calls from Australia? I'm curious. I don't think so. Can Australians call that number 646-450-2012? Let me know. International calls can come through? I mean, I'm asking this now years later. I probably should have asked this 3.5 years ago. And now I'm like, hey, guy, can people outside the U.S. call my number that I'm leaving, the hotline? Well, you could always email me like an audio track of your voice singing a Def Leppard song if you can't call the number. My email is funnyjones@gmail.com. What did I want to do? Oh, I want to thank Lily Rottering for sending me a nice email. Lily says that I'm comedy gold, followed by cheers, which I love. Cheers. Cheers to you as well, Lily. Guys, reach out to me. I love to hear from you. So please don't be shy. Don't be shy. Follow me on the Instagram @funnyjones. That's what's up. My Patreon, I just uploaded a bonus episode. Oh yeah, recorded a long 1.5 hour bonus episode with another comedian. We said a lot of terrible things. I'm not going to lie. Probably stuff that's going to get me canceled. So you definitely want to hear that. It's on the Patreon. You have to join the Patreon, though, to get it. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews. Or go to WeirdAFNews.com. That's a website that I paid for to have made. And, it wasn't cheap. And on that website, among other things, is a link to the Patreon. You can go there. You can also buy me a cup of coffee on that website as well, which people have bought me this week. A couple people have bought me coffees. Shout out to all my coffee purchasers. Keeping me highly caffeinated, keeps the show going strong. I should have a coffee sponsor. Here's the thing, though. Like I talked to a coffee sponsor, and they just wanted to give me coffee, but it's like, I got plenty of coffee, man. I want money. Can you give me some money, man? Like, pay me to sponsor. Oh, man, it's so hard to find a sponsor for a podcast, I tell you. Probably because there's 2 million podcasts out there. 2 million? Yeah, 2 million. It just passed 2 million. I'm all up on my podcast industry news, guys. 2 million podcasts are now in existence. Which, that makes it all the more special that you're listening to mine. And that's why I always thank you guys for listening at the end of these shows. Because I want you to know I'm actually genuinely extremely grateful that you've chosen to listen to mine, even if it's for once a week or whatever, here and there, even if it's once in a while. I'm super, super appreciative because I realize what else is out there. A lot of choices. So it means a lot to me that you chose Weird AF News, those of you that have, and I'm grateful, so grateful for your loyal listenership. And that's it. Just want to give you some love. Come here, I'll rub your foot.